Welcome to episode 21, Intent Exposed. Previously on the Crystal Arc, our adventurers continued their quest in the Belwick Academy, searching for information on the Ardor Consortium. Along the way, they encountered Vincent Gelder, a suspicious new head lorekeeper. Realizing that this Vincent was the one Perry warned them about, they immediately beelined it back to the headmistress to discuss this with her. Tension built as the party in Harville approached Coventina on missing documents from the library. Although laying in wait for the party, Vincent and Coventina attacked, leading to a heated battle with flying gargoyles, a rug of smothering, and animated armor. The party found themselves in the midst of a battle in the office. Despite the chaos, the group fought valiantly in attempts to rescue their injured comrade, Harville. As the battle turns, Vincent was restrained and severely injured. In desperation, he hinted at the potentially dangerous consequences for Vamain in the form of a beast of his master's called the Tower. Planning to move on the political discussions planning to take place between the Commodon dynasty and the Holdremian kingdom. But how did the Crystal Lich know this? The battle continued. Vincent saw his chance and escaped from the fight, leading to a suspenseful moment and a decision on what to do next. The party discovered a mysterious glowing necklace on Coventina, which turned out to be a charm given to her from Vincent. Breaking the charm and tracking the whereabouts of Vincent, who was making his way away from the Belwick Academy, the Geobreakers discussed plans to reach the entrance of Belwick. They opted for dimension doors and an Iron Man-like flight to break through a stained glass window and land in the front of the school. They encountered Vincent, who was injured and shackled and in mid-retreat. The group worked together to stop Vincent through a multitude of clever thinking and in one heavy landing from S.H.I.E.L.D. The sun is now setting to the west. It paints the sky in a mix of orange, reds, purples, and blues. The looming form of the Belwick Academy, high atop the Scalebearer Mountains, casts a shadow over the cobblestone pathway. As the dust settles, the form of S.H.I.E.L.D. is seen kneeling. Beneath him, the form of Vincent Gelder rests broken, his face scratched and twisted in a macabre grin, as if he was in mid-laugh before the catastrophic events befell him. An eerie silence falls over the cobblestone pathway, just as the wind howls through the mountains.
Did I get him?
I think you did, buddy.
I'd say so.
I think you did, darling. Yeah.
Lots of dust, though. Not great for my allergies.
Haven't we magically fixed that yet?
Apologies.
Oh, nothing to be sorry about.
Well, there is, though.
Okay.
The dust. It made Tobias have allergies.
You should growl.
Oh, that's okay. I'm allergic to a lot of things. You know, lots of greenery. I got those seasonal allergies, you know. I should be up in a cold climate. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
We're alive, guys. Didn't necessarily expect that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was well thought.
I'm a little bit scared.
Will we have to pay for the window? I do not have money.
Whoops.
Am I still a bird at this moment?
You did land, swoop down in your giant eagle form.
I'm still
it's up
an
to you
eagle.
if you want to break out of that form or not.
I'll blow some even more dust to Tobias's face. My thing. Just for funsies.
Bless you.
Why?
I'll just grab a piece of the robe of the bloodied dude and hand it to Tobias. There you go. It's to wipe your
Well,
face or
Borak.
your nose.
Thank you.
Borak, as you're getting
Tobias
close to the
Throws it.
viscera of what used to be Vincent, you notice a satchel with, although a little bit bloodstained, is filled with books and papers.
I will grab that. Take a look inside.
Okay.
That's the
Uh-oh.
sound of the police.
Yeah, you just robbed someone. The cops are coming for you right now.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Sorry. Outside of my apartment. No, sorry.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone just duck.
Yeah.
Covatina's ready to get us.
Okay. Borak, as you go through these documents here, you see what seems to be kind of like incoherent scribbles on wild ink that blots this journal. Pages seem to kind of ripple and swirl with this erratic energy and drawing, you see it seems like to be a rather aged book, as it were, and then these other papers are kind of loose, kind of wrapped around in a small little leather binding.
Hey, Tobias, are you, your allergies gonna, heal up enough for you to read this? I'll just toss it over to him.
Yeah, I should be fine. I'll open up the book.
Okay. You look into this book, and it is just a journal. And you look on the open flap, it says the Journal of Kindane Marlowe. But within there is a stamp, and it says confiscated, ownership of Belwick Academy. Flipping through the pages and looking through things, can you roll an Arcana check for me, please?
Of course. Wow, very laggy.
I cast
That
guidance
was.
on him. Well, he does it.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
Roll a
sorry.
second.
This froze on me, so I'm just gonna roll my actual dice.
Add a D4.
Technical difficulty. So we've got 20.
20. Okay, fantastic. As you open up this book, it clearly, you can see that over time someone has tried to put our arcane locks on this to try and break and hide this information through. But it's no match for the great Tobias Chad. No match whatsoever. As you almost just flick your wrist, there is almost you hear like a little breaking, and the words become more and more revealed. You see that the book is about 2 centuries old, dating from the year 580. And throughout the book, in your quick reading, it outlines research done into wild magic and the preservation of empowering physical bodies through sourcing wild magic.
Oh.
All right, so I relay all that information to them. So yeah, this is Kindane Marlowe's. Kindane. It's this guy's book. Belongs to Belwick Academy, and so apparently there's some magic from about 2 centuries ago that is required in powering, imbuing physical bodies. I'm assuming this might be sort of an origin story or precursor to what we're dealing with right now with these crystals.
But as Tobias, as you go through this book further and further into these pages, you're kind of recounting what you're reading. You see that there was records of tests done on various animals. The casting down of members of the Belwick Academy saying that they don't understand or they don't fully get the grasp, and that they're too within their schools of magic to see the true power within wild magic. There are tests, there's more pages of tests done on various creatures, and the mention of potential humanoid tests coming soon. That's where the journal ends. But as you get through the book, the very back, there's a sketch. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Okay, that is
Don't fuck it up.
that is 18.
Tobias, you look at this figure, this drawing, and immediately it reminds you of something. It is the logo that was on the ring that you found on Elisar.
Ooh,
Oh.
the
And
cursed
as
ring.
you look at that sign, you feel a flash almost internally. For everyone else, you see his eyes roll back into his skull. And you hear a voice. Tobias, leave your mortal coil. Tobias, leave your power. Tobias, give me your power. And you are hit with 10 points of psychic damage. You see Tobias's head snap back and his nose begin to bleed as he drops the book from beside him. He looks to be... I need you to also do a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, dear God.
Glad I didn't read that book.
19. That's a hot tonight, though.
You look like you're about to fall back, lose consciousness, but you step back and your foot regains you. The rest of you, the book falls from him and the papers begin to scatter throughout the cobblestone pathway. Some now begin to be drenched in the blood that is resting from the dead body of Vincent. Tobias, the voice continues within you. And it says, "You took him from me. You took all of them from me. You forced my hand, Tobias. I see everything from you. I see everything through you." I need you to do another wisdom saving throw.
Oh my.
Is the book still open in his hands, or he's dropped it?
The book has fallen, and now it's like almost by will of itself. It's just...
I want to try to close it.
Okay. That's a
I'm
13.
going to reach forward and cast resistance as a cantrip on him.
Okay.
As I see all this happening, so you get an extra D4 on a saving throw.
No.
Add that D4, buddy.
Give me a second. So that brings me to 16.
The group suddenly realizing what's happening to you. Cypher, they jump towards the book and they close it shut. Borok grunts and grabs your shoulder and almost puts his hand to your chest, and you feel a warmth as the voice inside you tries to lash out at you again, but this time you manage to regain your composure, and the voice for now is gone.
Are you all right?
Sorry, what?
Are you all right?
The fuck was that?
Yeah,
I start dabbing the nosebleed, trying to clean the nosebleed off.
that voice again. The one that I've been having follow me since we picked up that ring.
The Lich.
Yeah, well, he is not happy. Not at all. He's not pleased with our doings, that's for sure.
Good.
That's kind of what we wanted.
I've turned back.
I felt him.
Sorry.
I felt him trying to, essentially take me over, take over my willpower, and was able to fight him back. And thank you for helping try to bring me back. I've never felt something like that before. I was very scared. He wanted me to give up my power. He's coming for us.
Is he coming for us, or is he waiting for us? I think that's going to be it's going to dictate our next moves.
Well, he said that we forced his hand. Now, that could just be him referring to us forcing his hand, and so now he wanted to try and take over my consciousness, or we forced his hand and now he's going to do something else.
I have a bad feeling he's going to unleash something upon people we might care about. Or just people.
Maybe we should head back quick. But no.
We also have to get to him eventually. We have to get to Umathos.
We do. Well, I think we need to use we can use the teleportation circles for all that.
I don't possess the magic to do so, but Shield or Asina, do you possess the magic to help shield Tobias from the Lich? No shield, pun intended. I just hate to have to think of him going through this more than he has to.
I have already offered to Tobias that I could perform the same procedure that we performed on Perry. However, I've left that up to him to decide whether we do it or not.
Well, I was on the fence, but after that, I think I'd be willing to let you try.
Okay.
You know, it's one thing for him to take me or be able to do what he wants with my mind, but he's been using me essentially as his own view into us and what we're doing. He can monitor our every actions through me with this connection. So if we want to have any sort of element of surprise on him, it's probably for the best that we get that out of my head.
If he can see through you, then he knows we will attempt this again. He will not let you go easily.
Tobias, as
Well,
that said, you feel like a shiver up your spine, almost like as a response to that comment made from Shield.
Well, the way I see it is if we do nothing and I'm able to just kind of go along as we have been, he will have an advantage on us and we will fail. If I go through with the procedure, there's an opportunity that something might go wrong and maybe something happens to me, but at least the mission still has a chance. And glass half full, maybe we're able to get it out and the mission even has a better chance.
Do we know
So
if anybody... Sorry, do we know if there's any sort of cleric or anything like that, either here or I'm sorry, the city we just came from, fuck. Too many concussions. Ormkirk.
You're concussed. Okay.
I'm always concussed. It's CTE, it's going to be a bitch when I'm older. Ormkirk, do we know if there's any clerics there that might be able to help out, or do one of those blessings that heal you of certain things, whatever those are? A lesser restoration is something I can do, but a greater restoration is more powerful than I am.
For those of you who are of the Eldremian Kingdom, Shield, Cypher, Tobias, you're more than welcome to do a history check right now to see if you can think of anything. There are papers that are scattering about. There was loose papers as well. Are we just letting those fly out, or
I would try to grab them. And also 14 on my history.
Tobias, did you do anything?
I'd help as well.
Hold on a second. My history is 15.
15. Shield.
I think I would probably, well, number one, I think I would probably be more focused on Tobias than the pages
Okay.
right now. So I don't know that I would want to look at them, though some of the things that Tobias mentioned are going to need further follow-up in a less emergency-like time.
Yeah.
Because I'm making some connections that I don't like. And my history check was 8.
Okay. Well, since both Tobias, you, and Cypher kind of were right around there, you do know that there is a place in Ormkirk called Sanctum Way, and that's where most all clerics and religious believers of the Forebearers and the Sculptors and all of them all reside. Cypher, Borok, as you're picking up these loose papers, you just catch a glimpse of incident reports, expulsions from the Belwick Academy. You see incident reports of Ulmuthos, of what happened. Now it even says Ulmuthos, now known as the Wastes. Just a quick glance at those, you see that there was a catastrophic incident. It was a massive pulse of wild magic concentrated in what they referred to as their laboratory. There was mass casualties and a few injured survivors. Cypher, on yours, you see there was no trace of Kindane. Specifically, it looks like they're looking for Kindane. There was massive amounts of wild magic surges that prevented them from researching further. And Borok, in the sheets that you found, coincidentally, you see that whatever there was before the Blood Hands, possibly the proto version of the Blood Hands from there, actually assisted with rescuing and assisting the injured and fleeing. You see a note of War Chief Haslocks, who swore to protect the borders. And now things are starting to connect for you. As a child, you remember that you were told on the Temravi Plains never to venture past a certain tree line, because that would lead you into the wastes. There was always horror stories of children going missing from monsters coming out from the wastes.
Crazy.
This missing piece of information comes at the right time. You also find, just in general, 20 platinum pieces, 200 gold pieces, and the same ring. That
holy fuck, we're rich.
Yeah. I mean, Vincent had money. All right. Just wanted to resolve that all before you decide what you're gonna do next.
20 platinum pieces and how many?
20 platinum
200.
and 200 gold.
Don't touch the ring. Don't touch it.
No,
I think I will try to melt the ring. Like, I have enough things that make heat and fire that, excuse me, that we can probably just destroy it. So I would like to start that process kind of now.
Immediately start. It's just a ring at this point. It's just you're able to break it down.
Oh, well, then I'll pump a heat metal into it until it melts.
Yeah. There you go.
I assume it's just gold, right? Like it's
kind of like a black stone, black onyx sort of.
That might not work.
I turn back into Orsina.
Okay.
And then I just go over to Tobias and be like, do you need any curing? Are you okay? Not really sure what happened to you, but I can add to your health if you need me to.
Yeah, I feel like I took a little bit of a beating there. Like I was in a fight, but nothing physical actually happened to me. I think I could use a little bit of healing.
I think
Okay,
we could all use a bit of a rest.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on Tobias on the 2nd level.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, it's really laggy today.
What time of
Yeah.
day is it?
It's the sun setting, so it's getting closer to the night. It's probably, it is the winter still, so you're probably looking at around 4 o'clock.
Add an 11, Tobias.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's maybe go talk to Coventina quickly, see if there's anything she can help us out with. See if she has any more info on this Kindane Marlowe guy. I think that might be our Lich.
Yeah. And Peter,
Going
these incident reports from the book, were these old?
Yes,
These are old. Okay.
they're old.
Okay.
Yes.
Get it.
Bias, you're going to say something?
Nothing of value.
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
Everything you say is of value.
You've been nice to my friend Tobias.
Yeah, we'd like to
There is a crowd of guard starting to form around you, but mostly looking at the dead body, and we're kind of
Smush.
there hearing your discussion there.
Body.
What was left of said body. You walk back into the Belwick Academy, and you continue to walk your way back up to Coventina's, and you enter into Coventina's office. What you find in there, though, you see Coventina, this portly dwarven form in a tizzy, just moving, casting mending, prestidigitation, cleaning everything up. You see the scorch marks of the firewall that you put in there, Orsina, the broken table from when you jumped on top of it, Borok, Cypher, the blast, the Eldritch blast damage, and Shield. There is just a various bunch of ripped up gargoyles and whatnot being mended right now. You can see she's just oh no, and she's busy just in the background, just cleaning things up. And there's a massive hole in a giant stained glass window. Can't forget about that.
It's times like this I wish I knew how to cast calm emotions. Coventina.
Sorry.
Yes. What do you want?
It's okay. It can all be fixed, of course. It's just stuff.
They were original, but when you try and bring them back from mending, it's not the same.
But you're alive, and you have your mind to yourself. That's
and
worth
as you guys approach her closer, Borok, you do see that you did tie the hog tie a little tight, as her arms have a little bit of rings around them. You can just see that she's just. I know I should be thanking you, but my beautiful office is all ruined.
Yeah.
Truthfully, thank you so much.
Well, Vincent won't be a problem moving forward, but we found some alarming information that this Kindane Marlowe fellow might be the Lich, and that might be someone you're familiar with from history, I guess.
Kindane Marlowe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a name that, frankly, doesn't come up too often. She snaps her fingers, and chairs begin to assemble, mend, and come closer. And you see like a servant with a tray of tea just come out already. And please sit down. Kindane Marlowe is he was a frightful student turned teacher turned researcher that came from far off land there. What What did you find on him?
Just that, he's probably a lich.
Quite a
Basically,
bit. We've got all this paperwork to back it up.
Yeah. Here, I'll hand over the paperwork.
Just don't look at this back page, Tobias. Is that the
yeah,
page
don't
we
look at
should
that.
look at? Just maybe put some white out on it.
Right. She takes out these little pince-nez glasses and starts to look through them, and she's going through these papers, and she looks and says, these are incident reports of this is quite a few headmasters ago, but these are in our restricted need to know basis within the library. Well, if I'm being honest, I've never seen these before in my life. And did you mention a lich?
Yes, so this wild magic ley line situation has been going on for some time, and thus the geo creatures have been created. And there's a lich that's trying to kill us all and amass magic power, and we think it's Kindane. Yeah, because he was the only one that survived. Well, he went missing. He wasn't found after that page there with the massive casualties. He was not located. And that would kind of check out,
I'm gonna download her on the the group of them as well.
The Ardor
obviously
Consortium.
Ardor Consortium. Yep. Sorry, my notes all over the place. And just let her know basically what we've been dealing with, and what we're trying to
give her the whole thing.
Get rid of.
Anyone else want to add anything into that? No? Okay.
No.
They take the time. You take your time to explain the whole Ardor Consortium, the geo virus, which everyone is very much aware of at this point. But as you begin to tell her more about the Ardor Consortium, the purple robes that you faced, the monsters you faced, and also what just transpired with Vincent, her face comes from a general upset from the fight to more of a worry. She looks at you and says, I don't know what you're thinking. You brought up Theraval. He sent you over here from the beginning. Do you think maybe he needs to be informed on this?
Mm-hmm.
Right away.
Yeah, we will.
But we were wondering, or I was hoping, since you are a student of magic, and obviously now know the magnitude of our situation, if there was any type of trinkets or objects or weapons or shields or something that you might be able to help us out with that we could use to defeat these people, this person. This is obviously a center for the arcane arts, and honestly, we're going to need as much help as we can get.
They are particularly finicky towards thunder and bludgeoning types of things. Maybe some ice.
And fire as well.
Fire.
That's long term. Fire's long term, not short term.
Aye. Well, I can assure you, from what I've witnessed tonight or through this day, sorry, I can promise you that the Belwick Academy will assist in their best when needed. This give me a lot to think about in terms of next steps, and oddly enough, yes. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm very reassured to know that the academy has will support us in this situation, and you've always had the support of the Chad family. If we can provide any sort of funds to help repair some of the damages that have been done, I'm fairly confident that we'd be able to help in some way foot part of the bill for that.
that a guarantee?
That is not a guarantee. I
Foot
mean,
enter mouth.
Gotta talk to Mummy.
Mother will have to approve. She
Mummy.
handles all of the
You see a
finances of the
scowl.
family.
Scowl just come across her face. Just, I will admit, Tobias, that dealing with you, you have been a little bit more of a pleasant Chad. And I do owe you a boon. Whenever you need it, you can come calling on me.
Well, after all is said and done, Coventina, if whatever happens with the school, whatever position you find yourself in, if you ever need any gainful employment, the Chad family's here. I guess it would be. Did I ever tell y'all what my family does?
No, not really.
No.
Well,
Not
we're
necessarily.
in
You've
property
been particularly evasive.
Yeah, we just manage many properties. We own a lot of land.
Oh, so you're assholes.
That does check out, yes.
I'm not surprised. Though.
Are you sure there's nothing else, Mr. Chad? And she kind of gives you a look, kind of like.
Do you own a
Spits
lot
her
of
eyes.
funeral homes, maybe?
Well, this is the public. That's the public perception. What I'm telling you right now. There is other business ventures we dabble in where we can possibly avoid taxes.
Oh, you have a church too.
I mean, what wealthy family pays tax?
Honest
Aye.
ones.
Well, I must get back to cleaning up my room, and consider the teleportation circles at your whim wherever you need to go, and I will make sure to get back to you, Therival. And Mr. Chad, we can definitely talk about potential employment. If Belwick Academy stands still, if now we're talking about a lich.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah.
forget about the enormity of our situation here when you're making
you-
your
you-
decision.
Yeah.
Of course, absolutely.
And you have
Um,
access to Therival and to talk to him if when needed?
Oh, absolutely. There's no
Okay.
problem talking to him.
And Tobias, do you think it's worth asking Belwick if they could maybe help with the thing we were talking about earlier that Shield might help you with?
Greater
Yeah, I would-
restoration. Do you happen to have greater restoration?
Something like that?
I think Belwick could help. I would also possibly enlist my mother to be nearby when the procedure is done.
I
You sure
do
about that?
believe we can get the chirurgeons on this. Are we talking?
What?
She kind of turns to you, Shield. Are we talking something a little bit more of a magical infection?
Yes.
Aye, then the chirurgeons will be good for that. And you do request your mother, Ardella, to be here there, Mr. Chad.
Well, in case anything goes wrong.
Nothing will go wrong.
Yeah,
Well,
she'll be.
Let us call dear mummy and let's go. Where would you like to do this procedure?
Shield?
I have been thinking outside would be best, as I can mold the earth to restrain Tobias. It would be comfortable.
Ooh,
However,
I have entangle as well.
however,
This is getting far
Good
kinkier
stuff.
than we originally planned, everyone.
I do not understand.
Never mind.
There is no rope.
I'll teach you later.
That does not sound pleasant.
Oh.
No comment. Keep going.
As I was saying, should something go wrong and the Lich manage to take possession, it would be best if Tobias is as restrained as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, we do have laboratories and whatnot that we could do something in here, but if you want to do this outside, I'm more than happy. Should I
You
be
know
calling
what-
Therival?
You know as well as I do that some spells' somatic components are simply finger movements.
Aye, they are.
This is the most cautious approach. It will be
Could-
completely comfortable.
Could Therival help?
Oh
Unclear.
no, I don't know if you need him here or not. I can message him, let you know, but the might of Belwick is here for you if you need anything.
I mean, maybe it's worth asking Therival if he could assist. Anything to assist.
You are a learned mage. That much is
Aye.
clear.
Aye,
The
thank you.
process is actually not complicated. It requires 2 spells. The first is Detect Thoughts to enter the subject's mind. The second is a simple cantrip, Encode Thoughts, to pull out the offending message.
Interesting. And she takes out, you can see like a little floating scroll and like ink kind of writing things down. Well,
We have
as you wish. I will let you go and do what you need. I can come and assist if you'd like.
it was a team effort last time.
Aye. Aye.
This procedure should go smoothly. Firstly, because it's no longer my first time performing it. And second, Tobias, to my knowledge, is significantly more cooperative than the first subject was.
Well
This is
then.
true.
Well then, I will find myself very interested to sit in and look and learn on this. Please do what you like with this area, whenever you like. Just let me know when it's happening, just from a scientific and arcane standpoint. I'd love to learn.
Tobias, it is you who requires the procedure to be done. When you are ready, we can begin.
Well, I don't want to delay. The more time we spend delaying, the more time the Lich has to execute on his plan. So let's just make sure we have all the necessary components and the necessary people, and let's do it.
I say we get
It is
done.
not a resource-intensive procedure. I am ready now.
Okay, but where's mommy and mother?
Yes. We can certainly wait for your mother, should you need that.
I would
How
very
far
much,
away should we-
would very much like that.
Can I just interject quickly for a second with your mommy being here? Now, my encounter with that woman was, I would say, difficult. Is she going to interfere with the procedure if something slightly starts going incorrectly? Is she gonna, push us all the way and then make it worse and fuck up Shield's concentration or some shit? That's my only fear.
Specific instructions to not interfere. The only time she will perform any sort of action is if, God forbid, something goes wrong and I don't come back.
Just then, the doors slam open. You hear, "Where's my baby? Is he hurt? Where is he?" And you see the well made up version of your mother, like now with tears streaming down her face, and you hear like the clip clop of her high heels as she's coming up across the marble floor. And Tobias, as you look down, you remember as a child your mother gave you a bracelet and that bracelet is now blinking incredibly bright. And she runs up to you. Just Tobias, what is wrong with you? Oh, there's blood on you. Oh,
Should put a geotag on him.
Oh,
It is not
Ordella.
his blood.
mother.
my baby. Oh, oh.
I'm okay.
so sorry. I know Mama's here for you. What do you need?
Mama, I knew you'd be here if I needed you.
Absolutely, baby.
That was so fast.
We always said with us Chads, the blood is stronger than anything, and
Blood's
I'm
practically your
so
family tradition.
I'm
She
so
snaps a look
nervous,
over
mother.
at Orsina and looks and says, Of course I know. I know when my baby's hurt." And she holds up this bracelet, and the bracelet shows. She's like, "I gave this to my boy whenever I know he was hurt. So that's when I couldn't find him, but now I knew he was close." Baby boy. And she starts kind of like petting at him a little bit.
I'm very nervous, mother. I'm going to have to do something right now that willingly puts me in danger. Now, I do have much confidence that things are going to go well. But what needs to happen is my friend Shield here, he's going to use magic to go into my brain
Fucking
and
face.
take out essentially a command or a shard that the Lich has placed in there, where he is able to essentially hijack my thoughts. This needs to be done. I just had a situation where he almost was able to take over my brain. It was not pleasant, mother. I'm so scared.
You can tell she's trying to hold back her emotions, and even all the anger and the vitriol from your mother coming from just abandoning the family has seemingly washed away. She is just concerned, and she is beside herself hearing you explain this thing. And she grabs your hands and says, "Anything for my little baby. Anything for him. Oh, do you want your brother here? Do you want Reuben here?"
No,
Mm-mm.
Reuben doesn't need to be here.
You
I
sure?
just want you, mommy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay. Mama's
you know
here.
what to do. You know what to do if things go wrong.
Let's not talk about that.
Mother, that is specifically why you are here, other than the emotional support you're bringing me, is I need you if things go wrong. You know what to do.
She leans into you, out of and right up to your ear, and whispers to you. And whispers in your ear directly. "Can I bring you back?"
Yes.
Okay, baby. Well, Mr. Shield, I ask you be gentle with my son, and let us continue this, please, and with the utmost care and urgency.
Before Shield starts, I go over and I give Tobias a big hug. And I just tell you're gonna be okay, and you're stronger than this Lich.
I appreciate you. I hug you back. But what I really need right now is I need you to smack me in the face.
Smack him as hard as I can.
Think you roll some damage? Just
sure.
roll
Unarmed. What is it? A D like just
unarmed.
A D6?
Unarmed. I think it's a DC.
1 plus your
4?
strength.
It's
Is it one plus my
Yeah.
0?
You feel a slap, but you don't feel any sting.
I have
The
a
perfect
-1
clap.
strength.
All right. Well, that woke me up. I appreciate it.
Pat, pat, pat.
I'll take
Alright.
I'll take a net out of my bag and just hold it up and go, "You ready?" And tie it down with this.
I mean,
Let us
I have
move
some
outside.
fine wine if you want a shot before this starts, or if that will make it worse.
Shield, I wouldn't need to do what I did last time, right? Because he's willing.
I
I have
sneaked
a
a
nice
shot.
spritzer.
I would be ready in any case, as we
Okay.
do not know particularly how long he will be willing for. I would rather that we have that tool on hand and not need it than be scrambling to get you there should it come up.
We do.
Tobias, you're gonna hate this suggestion, but honestly, I think it's a good thing to have. I think we're gonna need you to hand over your memoirs, and if you start slipping on us, we can read excerpts to bring you back to reality and be familiar with what you've written down as a way to keep you there.
No other eyes have seen those memoirs. There has not been a grammar check done, or punctuation.
But you said that there was no need for that sort of editing.
I'm only a man.
Listen, the fact that I can read is pretty crazy. So, like, I'm not gonna judge you on your grammar. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can give it to your mom to read.
That's even worse. No,
I was
no,
gonna say,
one
I
of
think
you.
that's worse.
One of you, Bo, you have my permission to grab the memo. I do think that's a good idea that you suggested. This is not ideal.
We'll only use
I
it if we think
appreciate you
it's working.
trusting me. Yeah.
All right,
Tobias
Shield.
Tobias hands over a book, and you feel almost, Borok, as you grab it, you feel like a little magical twinkle in your finger, and the book almost loosens a bit that you're able to pull it apart. You're able to pull it apart a little bit, but before it felt like it was tight, like you couldn't even open it up.
It's a magic book.
Hey.
I feel
Don't you open up
there's
just yet, bro.
magnitude in this. I won't open it. I won't open it unless we need it. Hopefully we won't need it.
Come.
Did you want a shot of Vindenfell red wine before you start?
All right. Thank you. Ugh, let's do it.
All right,
Come.
let's do this.
We should go outside.
You all begin to move outside. Ardella, Clementina follow in foot too. The sun is now setting, at least to the point where you are. It's well behind the mountains, so you're kind of bathed in a little bit of darkness. Shield, can you tell us where you're setting this up?
I think I will find a piece of garden. And I don't mean like flower beds and stuff like that. I mean like schools like this usually have like an outside garden with like trees and stuff that's somewhat secluded. I'd like to find that. I would like to find a spot that is still in the sunlight. And when we find a spot that is mostly private but still in the sunlight, I will cast Mold Earth and pull out a cube of dirt and turn to Tobias and say, you should enter the hole.
Phrasing, Shield. Really? Really? Shield.
I do not understand.
He
It is a
doesn't
hole.
understand.
He
I
will
have,
enter
I have
it.
so much to teach you. Go ahead.
All
Is
right.
this not a hole?
Tobias, enter the hole.
Yep, I will.
Tobias,
enter the hole.
I am going to put the earth back so that you are restrained. It will not be uncomfortable.
Just imagine it's a day at the beach and we're burying you.
So I'm going to use Mold Earth again, and part of Mold Earth is that you can mold it with a specific shape. So I will mold it so that he is perfectly restrained, but the earth is holding itself up. There's no weight pressure on him. So it is a perfect body cast of packed earth.
Tobias, as the earth begins to move in,
His head's
You
still
are-
exposed, sorry.
yes, you are reminded of your nightmare you had of being buried alive, where the voice of the Lich spoke to you.
No, this don't feel good. It's like poetry.
I need you to trust me.
Would it be better if we just restrained your hands and stuff?
No,
For you?
no, hold on. I just need to focus for a second. Let me breathe.
Roll a I just want you to roll a wisdom. Roll a d20, add your wisdom.
Oh, wow. I got good wisdom. 17.
Calm yourself. Bring yourself down a little bit more. Shield, continue.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you move?
Just nod and shake my head. That's
Just your head.
The rest of my body is, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts now. I need for you to let me in.
You got it.
Okay, so I cast Detect Thoughts. I go for the Deep Thought version where he has to make a save. He can choose to fail it per the wording of the spell.
Okay.
I'm going to do the same thing I did with Perry, and now that I know what to look for, I'm going to try to find the small violet crystal shard. I'm not going to have any choice but to observe some of his memories, but I am going to work as hard as I can to not clock them.
Okay. All right. Well, Tobias, I have a question for you. There's going to be a scene of images kind of flying past Shield. Whether he intakes them or not, I would love for you to describe some memories, some deep memories, some core memories from your childhood or throughout your life that might have come through. It doesn't have to be something too in-depth. It just has to be some sort of flash of something.
Very first memory that comes back is me as a young boy with my brother, and we are witnessing my father dying, but then being brought back to life by my mother for the first time. Thoughts flash by, memories pass. I'm sharing my first kiss with my high school sweetheart. We were on the balcony of the promenade in our third house, yeah. And it's a wonderful moment. Flash forward to my first show. Only 3 people in the audience watching my magic, but I never felt more on task with what I'm supposed to do than in that moment. Flash forward again, meeting all of you for the first time in that in the very first time when I turned around after the crystal entities kind of came after us, and then we met Eric. I didn't think that Eric would make his way in here.
Always finds the core memories, Eric.
Flash forward now, we're seeing all the memories that we've shared together, and to this moment.
Shield, you see one memory fly by, the instigating moment of Tobias touching the ring in the Cianendel crypt. And that, to you, flashes to something. Now, Orsina, Cypher, Borak, what are you all doing during this moment here?
Watching for him, and just keeping an eye on him and Shield, and kind of just standing over top of him with a book.
Yeah, I'm paying
Just
attention.
ready to go.
The book. Paying attention to
Like,
Shield.
please give me a reason to open this.
Amazing.
I think I would just be monitoring and ready to cast the only spell that I could possibly do to help, which would be guidance. Just like ready,
Okay.
if I can help, and or be ready to start casting minor illusion once Bo starts reading from the book to try to just do like visual of his words. That's all.
You see Coventina kind of just taking notes during this whole thing. And you see Ardella just kind of beside herself, biting her nails, watching as Shield is like almost moving his hands into Tobias's head in this little void. Go ahead, Shield. What else are you doing?
Once I find, so you said the inciting moment is where I think I'm going to find the shard. Is that did I misunderstand that?
There was
So
almost
there was
like
a memory
flash.
of exactly where he picked up the ring the first time, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to almost like flip back to that memory, and I'm going to reach into it to explore, similar to how I did with Perry when I found the crystal in one of his memories.
Okay. Tobias, please do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Yeah, 25.
25. Very nice. Right on the money. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's where you need to be.
Fucking hell.
The
Wow.
Shield, as you are reaching in
Wow.
past this memory, it's almost like it's rewinding back. And in the midst of this rewind, you see a flash of a form covered in a robe with this almost these horns of crystal and these glowing purple eyes and this gaping maw with a scraggly beard coming out from beneath the robe. And it almost just tries to lash at you. But Tobias, you see, kind of pulls it back, and he's almost sucked back into the memory as it reveals a sliver.
So, excuse me. At this point, I will cast the Encode Thoughts. Grab. Pull.
Outside, you see Tobias's head kind of shake to the side, and as the detect thoughts and the encode thoughts, are being taken out, you see the body shake again, another body shake again, and I need Tobias once again roll another wisdom.
Cast resistance on him. I see him shaking. I'm going to cast resistance on him.
What is that? Add 4?
Add D4. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think. Let's see here. 15, 18, 7. Again, 25.
The form of Tobias is shifting side to side, and you almost see like a version of him kind of pull off to the side, and that version turns into this gnarled, aged form, and you see this crystal just all along the side, and this gnarled face come out, and he just and he pulls back, and Tobias is fighting. Go ahead.
I'm going to confront this, and I'm simply going to say, you will lose. You are an inferior facsimile to me. You will lose.
Roll intimidation.
Oh, I'm not done.
Guidance?
Look at him. You don't need it.
Guidance?
Do you think I have not noticed the similarities between what you create and what makes me run? Do you think I have not noticed that your crystals meld so easily with my docents? We are two sides of the same coin, at the very least. But yours are weak. They shatter at the merest touch. You will lose, and you have no choice in the matter. Be gone.
Roll intimidation.
And guidance.
Two guidance?
I don't know if you can stack it. Just add a d4.
24.
That's why I added the advantage because of the 2 guidance.
Oh, I didn't know there was an advantage. But also, I got a nat 20 on the first one, so fine.
What
The
is happening?
the form of Tobias's head just kind of falls low, but the almost like a shadow of what Tobias is. But to you all now, you see this form, almost like it's a hooded figure with the crystallized horns kind of coming out from beneath the hood. The gnarled fangs and teeth and scraggly beard hang low. His sunken eyes glow with a massive deep purple, and his almost crystals begin to glow with rage as he turns around and he says, "The game is just beginning." And Tobias's head just and he snaps back as you pull out the crystal. The shocked look of Ardella and Coventina are almost pulled back as you all stand in front of now Tobias in the ground.
Jar.
He puts it in a jar.
Put it in a jar.
I just drop down and give him a big hug. Nice. Just big bear hug.
My head?
Yeah.
Just your head.
One.
Yeah, just
No, I lied. I'll keep it close.
I will cast Move Earth again.
Okay.
To unrestrain him.
Wow. I feel a little woozy.
You might be
It will
concussed.
pass. You and I should speak later.
Did you see something you didn't like in there?
I am more concerned you saw something that we won't like in there.
Oh.
As you begin to talk, the night sky begins to not become a night sky. The setting sun is almost overpowered, and you can see the people that are off in the courtyard, some people reading, some people sitting, and some people just minding their own business, begin to all look around. You hear a hum as this hum becomes louder and louder. The sky starts to glow purple. From the north, you see a massive streak of raw magical energy just shoot across the sky. From the far south, you see another magical beam of energy shoot across the sky, going off past the Scalebearer Mountain, somewhere into the Commodon Dynasty. Another one begin to all coalesce into the sky. You see in total 6 beams of light somewhere going into the Commodon Dynasty.
all going into the same spot?
Yes, the sky is glowing bright purple with lightning arcing around.
Could we
That's
tell?
where we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wow.
Can we tell where it's going?
Is it like a Batman
It's going to go
spotlight
to
in the
the
sky?
Commandant Dynasty. It's going to the waste. It's going
Is
to the
that? I was
waste.
gonna say, is that the waste or north?
Yeah,
Okay.
Commandant Dynasty. Yeah.
Wait, how do we know where that is? Like, I mean, just from
Because I'm
looking from the
because
ground.
I'm from there.
So you.
But that's where the bad guys are.
Yeah,
It's my
we'll resolve
assumption, I
this.
mean,
when we're back from our break.
yeah.
See you in 5. We'll be back in 5 minutes ish. Yes. As we see, the sky is glowing a dark, rich purple right now. The concerned voices of students and standard and watchers on are looking up to the sky. Coventina and Ardella both kind of have their hands up in a gasp as they see these arcing beams just shooting across the night sky, almost coming in at a center point. Now, Borak, as you surmised, you see that they're kind of coalescing just past the Scale Bearer Mountains, which the Bellwick Academy rests on. But this is miles off. You see Coventina goes, well, what should we do? Like, where do we go now? And you can see her grabbing to her ear to send a message, and she's, I don't know. The sky, we got to get the chirurgeons on it. She's, excuse me, and she just walks off into in a panicked hurry across the thing. Ardella kind of grabs to you, Tobias, kind of grabs to your side for your hand, as the more fearful side of her begins to show, probably for the first time that you've seen.
Oh, mother.
What did you, Tobias, what did you do?
Well, I mean, it's less of what I did and more of what the Lich did. I believe. He's clearly not happy with not having access to my thoughts anymore.
I believe it is more than that.
Oh, please, Mr. Shield.
While I was in your mind, I was able to confront the Lich, and I presented to him some observations about the similarities between the way his geodes work and my own composition. And I pointed out to him that those and myself are two sides of the same coin in many ways. And I stated to him that his version is an inferior facsimile and they are weak.
Bold. So you're saying that there's a correlation between the magic he uses and the magic that essentially gives you life?
It appears so. What I didn't say to the Lich, but also I have been considering, is the fact that I seem almost purpose-built to destroy these crystal entities. All of the things that I am able to do are the things that they are particularly weak to. Correlations are something that should be always considered, but so are very clear opposites. It is my suspicion, it requires confirmation, but it is my suspicion that the Lich used information either traded from or taken from the gnomes about the construction of Warforged, and has used that to try to develop his own super soldiers, if you will. There are stories of things like this happening.
Well, I'm afraid none of the soldiers he's created so far have been that super.
As I said, they are an inferior facsimile, and he will lose because of it.
Well, Shield, I owe you a great debt of gratitude for successfully performing your magical surgery on me. I appreciate it.
Speaking of debt, Shield will pull out another jar, and he'll put his finger to his temple, and he'll pull out like a liquid strand, and he'll put it in the jar and seal it. And in the jar, it looks like it's almost like liquid mercury, like that really shiny metal liquid.
Dumbledore?
As I promised. So I was casting encode thoughts on myself.
Okay.
I was removing my memory of everything I saw inside of his head, save the encounter with the Lich. I promised you that I would not keep the memories of what I saw while I was in your mind, and I'm fulfilling that promise. Do with it what you will.
You're a good man. Thank you.
I am not a man. I was
I
made.
mean, you're not a man. You're a fantastic
You're a
shield.
good being and a fantastic shield.
That is my purpose.
Now, guys, I don't mean to interrupt this touching moment, but a whole bunch of shit looks like it's going down, and we might want to get back to Ormkirk fast.
It would appear that I am at least somewhat correct in my assumptions.
Either way, we got some magical balls of death heading towards the wastes. So that can't be good.
That is suboptimal. Yes, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
To the
Ardella
teleportation.
says.
To the television.
Ardella looks at
Mother.
you, Tobias. If anything you need, will make sure that our family ensures that you are. My baby boy puts her hand on your face and says, "Are taken care of." I need to go check on your father, and she hurries off.
I mean, we could use some money.
I can't hear you, and she just like walks off into the distance. Just, sorry, what did you say?
Mommy.
I tried.
Thanks, Mommy.
Treat your tenants more fairly.
Never. And that she heard that. You all begin to hurry your way to the teleportation circles. Within Belwick now, you can see there are the headmistress is talking with a series of teachers and researchers and librarians. They all seem to be gathering students and folks together within the sanctums of Belwick Academy, and you can see protective spells beginning to come up. At the teleportation circles, there is a little bit of a confrontation with you, but you can see Trini, the little gnome that helped you through, push you through and saying, no, they are on business with Theraval. You get to the teleportation circles and you find yourself teleporting into Ormkirk. The scene in Ormkirk is utter chaos. If you remember back on the attack, it is that times 2. There are people running in the streets. There is almost just discord being sown. There's people looting, people turning over market stalls, and the guards are trying to bring things together. What are you all doing?
Beelining for Theraval, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. You push yourself past Theraval, the folks, making your way up to Huldrum Hill. You can see the linings of guards that are there, but with a simple quick flash of the seal of the advisor of Theraval that was given to you, you push through. Within moments, you can see Theraval walking down the steps of the apartments in a worried, concerned look, and he's rubbing his hands together. He's like, I just received a message from Tina that you spoke with him. Which one of you spoke with him?
I did.
The matter.
Yes. What is this? What is this in the sky?
The result of fear.
Your guess is as good as ours as what it actually is.
Our best guess might be wild magic of some sort, or the ley lines diverging or converging or doing what they do.
How many crystal deposits did we figure there were? You know those big deposit things that we kept finding? There was 6.
You saw on the map there was well over the ley line map that there is. Yeah. There was convergent points on the ley line map that there was about 10 to 12.
And
but the lines in the sky that you're seeing right now, there's only 6.
We take out
because we destroyed some of those crystal roots that were taking place, like at the Frost Giant and on the ship. Like there were these like crystal roots, and that that doesn't seem to correlate.
I want you to do a I'm trying to think of something for like navigation.
Survival.
Uh
Or just intelligence.
yeah, roll d20 with your intelligence.
Oh, God. Can I guidance myself?
Nope.
Oh, it's only a 2, so 3.
Oh.
You're trying to make a correlation between this, but there are 6 beams coming from various parts. Even you can see off in the distance that there are some coming from the Commodon Dynasty side as well, not just all the Huldremian Kingdom. It is from both sides. Theraval looks to you all and says, I believe now the Commodon Dynasty will be willing to talk.
You think?
Yes, I do think, actually, Master Tobias. He,
You think?
we have,
Sorry.
Pardon his manners. He's a landlord.
Or, yeah.
wow. Theraval looks to you, Borak, and goes, thankfully we've seen that. We've spoken to War Chief Dolva, and he will meet at the Scalebearer Pass to talk. We've spoken with the 4 founding families of Nevigua. They will be there as well, and their skalds.
That's crazy.
We just received message from Ardella. I'm assuming something for you to do, Master Chad, and they will be coming to the part. They'll be coming to the discussions as well. The only part that we are waiting for now is confirmation from the Commodon's side. The Emperor is reluctant to join now, but I'm assuming things don't look as good as they do over there. I'm afraid our hands are tied until the Commodons accept, but I feel we will be in touch with them very soon. We would like to meet on neutral ground, and that would be the Scalebearer Pass in between our borders. If you may, I believe all of you could provide some sort of information to sway the assistance from the political powers. I hate to put this on you, but is this something that would interest you?
I mean, sure.
We come this far. Might as well
Yeah.
go the whole way. Plus, I get to tell those lizard fucks that I told you so.
Which ones are the lizard fucks again?
The Commodon.
Right. You mean the dragon kind.
Well, when you grow up there, I mean, yeah. Anyway.
I ask you all to looks around. You can hear the chaos, and the you can see kind of the glow of fires starting within Ormkirk, and the people finding opportunity to do whatever they can in this moment. If you can find some sort of peace tonight, I will be working throughout the night, trying to get the advisor to the Emperor on board for a meeting, and I was hoping we could give it some time, but we're going to have to be meeting very soon. Is there any information that you could possibly give me? Our guard are stretched now, but we can try and bring them as much as possible.
Well, you go ahead.
What do you want information on specifically?
Was there anything given to you from information from your research at the Belwick Academy? Did anything come to light? Did you run into any issues there?
I can show him the book and show him what we learned from the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else?
download about the about Kindane.
Yeah, and Vincent had taken over Corsina, whatever her name, not Corsina, Coventina. He's dead now.
Well, yeah,
we
'cause he
freed
knows
Tobias
of
from the
Vincent,
Lich's
right?
mind.
Would you say Orsina?
He knows of Vincent, or was that the other guy that I can't remember?
He's not aware of Vincent, no. But when he mentions Vincent, he said that Lilith, who is still being held here, she did mention Vincent quite a bit.
Yes, he was like the Lich's
Well, he's
right-hand
dead.
man, and we killed him.
Please tell her that Vincent is mostly liquid now.
Very, very jelly.
This might be a bit of a weird question because, I mean, they're not the most powerful beings, but we did run into a group of Grung that we ended up friending really early on in our journey. I know none of you guys were around for that, but I know them. They might be able to help. Like they got poisons and stuff like that.
Oh
Maybe.
yes, I remember hearing something about that. There was an integration of the Grung within Amazal.
Yeah.
After surviving a Yuan Ti attack, they've kind of joined forces. I will try and send message to Viceroy Koth there, and Viceroy Koth is what you remember as that dick.
That dickhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it in my notes.
Yeah. Viceroy Koth will maybe bring some with us. I don't know.
Well, let's hope he's in more chipper mood dealing with me than he was last time.
I will assume that we will need to shore up defenses. There has been
they don't like the geos. They're vulnerable to thunder, bludgeoning, and ice does stuff to them too. Long-term fire eliminates.
There has been quite a silence from that side, and I haven't seen many geolucents or any reports of geolucents anytime.
Just be ready with like thunder arrows and stuff if you have them.
You might also be able to contact, because they have ships. I don't know if that's going to be useful, or at least a couple ships. We met up and worked with some ruffians out of, forgive me, where was that place that we sailed out of?
He is concussed. Please give him a second.
I'm always concussed. My brain doesn't work. Olivara. And I don't know what they're called because I'm constantly concussed and my notes are a mess. But I don't know. They're kind of not good people, but they might be bad enough to fight for us. Or good enough to fight for us.
Of course. I will reach out to those at Olivara that have Cedia. Cedia upbringings.
I think they might have taken over Olivara. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
About the orcs.
Yeah. Those people.
The Growltusk gang.
The Growltusk gang.
Growltusk.
What on earth are you talking about?
Hey, thank the wild for your memoir.
All right. Well, then, besides any, large-scale attack or any sort of mountain-moving issue, then I will make sure we have all of our defenses shored up. Now, this Vincent, did he provide any information past the keeping of materials? Is that all? Or?
Well, the notebook about the ley lines, the converging ley line points, all going to Umathos, using wild magic to resurrect people and bring people back. That's, I believe, the most of it.
He mentioned a pet.
Oh, the pet,
the tower.
A beast, a monster of grand proportions, a scaled monstrosity infected with crystals, to what is verbatim.
He snaps his fingers, and you see a guard come by, and he says, bring some of the heavier artillery, if you could, please. You see the soldier kind of nod and go off towards the armory, which was in the postern bay portion of Ormkirk. Yes, Master Shield.
It would be wise to have similar artillery where we meet. While Vincent spoke about the tower, it seemed that he knew of the kingdom and the dynasty having plans to meet, and it was one of his items on his to-do list to disrupt that meeting. I
And I think he was
suspect
going to bring the tower with him.
I suspect an attack is
Looming.
imminent
Imminent.
Yeah.
Yes.
there rather than here.
Yes, of course.
I don't know if Lilith will end up providing any more information. She's definitely well over 120 years old. She's very ancient.
It's fair.
I think we've got all the information we have, so maybe do what you think is best with her.
Oh, Lilith will not be much more of an issue soon. She is slated for execution.
Maybe we should speed that
By
up.
squishing?
Just
I-
don't do any big monologues before, because that's when they always
Yep.
escape. Just
Oh, the execution is very just quick.
To
with
the
things.
point. Just
Yes,
quick and easy.
literally
Nah.
with a
We
weapon.
should also assume that anything that happened in Lilith's vicinity, the Lich knows.
Yeah.
He can see
Sees-
through.
His smile
It's-
kind of go away. Absolutely. Well, claps his hands and says, "We must move on for the night. I ask you to find some rest, and I will let you know in the morning if anything has come to light of our meeting. Bid you good night. I have quite a night ahead of me." And he
good luck
begins
there.
to pad off. So, right now, is there anything y'all want to do before we go to the next day?
Other than acquire thunder arrows or bludgeoning arrows or something for bow or ice arrows. But I don't necessarily want to play that all out.
I would
Everything I want.
let. Oh, sorry. Can I go?
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to get a message back to Coventina. I wanted to do this while we were there, but I accidentally made the Lich mad. I would like to get a message back to her. I want if she can spare some minor librarian who wouldn't be any use in a coming battle. Scour their archives for early writings about Warforged, and specifically any record of gnomes sharing information with any like humans or like surface people.
Okay.
Because I think if that information exists, there's going to be something in there that is going to be helpful for us.
Absolutely. Okay. You take your time. You send that message over, and you get a confirmation back that she will send one of her newer hires
Yeah.
into that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Also,
Um.
I will send a message back. Thank you. Period. Sorry about your window. Sincerely, Shield.
Well, that's nice.
Sincerely.
Cypher will get to the Thunder Arrow purchasing, but let's just go down the list. Borok.
Well, so after all this and when we're winding up for bed, I'm just going to take a bowl with me, and I'm going to go out into the most forested section, maybe just on the city limits that I can find, and get down on my knees, and I'm going to dump out my water skin into the bowl, and I'm going to just dig a small hole in the ground, and I'm going to take one of my figurines, figurine of a bear. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to pour a little bit of water on top and make the dirt wet and moist. And I'm going to grab, yeah, sorry, I said the word, my bad. And I will just create some mud and streak my face with it, and just sit there and pray to Kala, and just say, I know that you have given me the strength to take on so much in my life and in this lifetime, and you've afforded me the opportunity to find my mother again and meet these amazing people that I have with me. So this is going to be my biggest test yet. And although I look forward to meeting it, I also know that I'm going to need all the help I can get. So I'm just going to sit there and meditate towards her for probably a good 45 minutes or so, and just send up that. It's basically a prayer of war that similar to what I did when I had that big fight so long ago back at the camp.
You roll a religion for me.
Natural 19 plus 1, so dirty 20.
The forested area within the Huldrum Hill is a lovely garden with many trees, and as you begin to pray and as you are expecting a response almost into the prayers that you're sending out, a gust of wind moves through the trees, and or the bushes rustle, or you hear things, and almost as it's a response to your prayer, as almost like an affirmation of I hear you.
Perfect. At that point, I'll just use the water to wash off my face, the remaining water. I'll bury the carving in the hole and leave the place where I found it, pat down the dirt, and walk back.
Okay. Cypher, we had already gotten to you, but Tobias, what are you doing?
Well, first off, I just want to make sure. Did I get my memoir back?
Yes, I gave it to you.
Okay, perfect.
And it hadn't been opened. I didn't touch it.
Oh, I know. I can tell. Thank you. So I'm still feeling slightly dazed from the experience that I just went through. I still feel like I need to kind of get up to 100% before I get into any sort of frivolity. So I'm going to stay with shield as sort of a shield.
I silently acknowledge that you are. Like, I don't know what Shield would say there.
Thank you. I'm going to stick with you, buddy.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you can do tonight, or is that good for you, Tobias?
Could we cuddle?
I do not understand.
It's okay, big guy. Just stay close.
Yes.
Okay.
Aw.
Orsina, what are you doing?
I've been around the city atmosphere for too long and too much, and she just needs to recharge a little bit. So she's not gonna follow Ty to the foresty area, but she's going to that area as well in the forest, and she's just gonna camp out there for the night. and then she's gonna say Star and cuddle with Moon Moon because we've been forgetting about Moon Moon. So she's just gonna spend the night with Moon Moon in the forest and then fall asleep. But then the next day, before I forget, can I leave the pendant with somebody else, or do I, since I'm attuned to it, do I need to have it with me
You would need
at
to
all
have
times?
it with you.
Damn it. Okay. I was gonna leave him with somebody, but it's okay. It's okay, we'll just cuddle. And then I'll like kind of talk to him about the severity of and the magnanimity of what's going to happen potentially, and just make sure he understands what's going on.
In the small amount of time that you've been away from Moon Moon, he's definitely a little bit more plumper. He's getting bigger. He's growing. He's more playful. You can tell he's got a little bit more weight behind when he's trying to play with you. And respectfully, you do see Borok in the middle of a personal moment, and you do leave him off into the distance, but you can tell that he is doing, a ritual to Kala, which is very, very, very prominent from where you're from. That's the main god that a lot of druids worship from the domain of Venthana. And Cypher, you went to go buy a shitload of arrows.
I probably would have delegated the task because I wouldn't want to go do it on like the eve of something potentially so huge.
Okay.
I would want to be like, someone in this frickin' keep, can you just get me a haul? I'll give you money later.
You see
here's
a
money,
page
go
boy
buy
like,
it.
right away, ma'am, and he just runs away down.
Thanks, Steve.
That guy's far too chipper for what's about to happen.
Just as many of you can find.
You're going to die!
Steve, read the room, man.
Steve.
Um,
And I think Cypher would be like, their insides would just be churning with nerves, and it's not something that they feel very often. They usually feel very either confident or they just have that like just roguish confidence of like, it'll all be fine, we'll be fine. But I think they're experiencing a true net of anxiety after what happened with Tobias, and like the fear that overtook them that their friend could be taken from them against their will. And so anxiety, and I wouldn't really know what to do with that, but I'd want to be near my friends. So I would go and I would try to find ale and wine bottles and like a charcuterie board. And I would try to just get comfort things and go and march and find whoever I can that's so Shield and Tobias. And I would just plop it all down in front of them and just say, I don't really want to be alone right now. Can we hang out tonight? And then
yes.
What? Absolutely.
okay. And then I would just eventually make sure that I keep like message Ursina and Bo to make sure they're okay out in the woods. Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead, Shield.
Sorry, just back in time, I did have another message I wanted to send just before we all batten down for the night. And then I have something that I think will be appropriate for later in the night too. First, I want to send a message back to Mirage. Things are bad. Whatever you are assuming, please know it is much worse.
Mirage answers back, "Oh, I know, darling. Things are just absolutely fucked up here as well."
No, it is worse. Make sure the children are safe. Use the crypts if you need to. I am
Absolutely.
between you and Perry. It is your personal responsibility to keep Borok's mother safe. She is not to be hurt.
I understand. I will
Gather the food that you can. I cannot be there. I apologize.
Of course. I don't apologize. I'm assuming saving the world. So, a lot of other things you got to deal with there. But in all
Hopefully.
seriousness, we have Holy Thorn, we have Finarose, we have all of them here to make sure that we are taken care of. And if you remember, those were folks that were past heroes that have been here.
Reach out to the druids from the surrounding woods as well. You will have a better chance of survival together.
Of course, yes. Cypher, as you're having these discussions, you know, these crises of bravado in a way, you do see Cap like floater around. Now the question is, can anyone else see Cap that's hanging out with you, Shield or Tobias?
Maybe I would ask Cap if they wanted to be seen.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
So I would just kind of just wave my hand over Cap and look at Shield and Tobias and say, "Have you guys met my friend?"
You see like a form
No.
of a moth fall down and just kind of an antenna goes up and just waves.
Oh,
A little hand.
This is Cap.
I am not aware that you've been around.
Oh, Cap's always around.
hello there.
That is disturbing.
Mhm.
You hear the
I know. You get used to it.
fluttering, and you see like this like
That is
almost
disturbing.
cat-like eyes looking at you as it comes up very close to you and then flies around and goes and the circles around Tobias and
Oh
Shield.
my goodness.
They're cute, right? And invasive.
I don't know. Those cat eyes are strange.
Incredibly.
I mean,
I
it's
see you go for gasps, my friend. I'll shake his little hand with my pinky finger.
oh god.
Nice to meet you.
And the funny thing is though, as he goes to speak, Cypher, you can hear him saying, "Nice to meet you too," but you do not hear anything.
No.
Oh, they say nice to meet you too.
So
Ken.
you two can communicate, but he can't.
I guess so. I
Communicate with
haven't really shown him off to many people.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, Cap. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm just been kind of going around the watching everything, and I'm a little scared, to be honest with you.
Do you know what's happening? Do you know what those
No,
explosions?
not at
Okay.
all.
That would have been too easy. Is it happening? It's not happening in the Feywild.
No, not at all.
Good.
Maybe stay there then.
Yeah. We're working on it. We think it's a lich. Well, we know it's a lich.
It's a lich.
A dead wizard.
Okay.
A very dead, very wizardy wizard.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
No.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go, and he just disappears as per usual. You see like an
Stay
explosion,
close.
little sparks.
Nice
to
The
meet
rest of
you.
you begin to lay down for the night and bed down.
Okay.
Although, Orsina, as you are going to bed, nestling with Moon by the open, kind of looking out into the distance, you can see the Scale Bearer Mountains and the arcing magical convergence somewhere, and above there's a clearing. Above the convergent points, there's a clearing in the sky, and you see the constellation of the bear. The next morning comes. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead,
Sorry.
Orsina.
Oh no, I was just gonna like say, "Oh, gotcha. Thank you, Bear Mother," and then
The next morning, yes, Shield.
So, Shield, when it comes time to sleep, I imagine that the three of them are awake well into the night. It doesn't seem like things aren't great. So when it comes time to sleep, Shield's going to do something that is very uncharacteristic of him. As he sees Cypher and Tobias laying down, before he goes into his reboot cycle that substitutes for sleep for him, he's going to do two things. He's going to sit down, which I think this is the first time Shield has ever sat down in your presence. And he's going to put a blanket, just kind of like, he's sitting like cross-legged, and he's going to put a blanket over just his legs, and he'll start his reboot cycle. And because his reboot cycle is shorter than most rest people needs, I think at some point in the night he wakes up, and one of the two of them is like in the fetal position, nestled up on Shield.
Both of us just both.
That's a Tobias thing. I mean.
Well, John knows that Tobias said want to cuddle.
Yeah.
And Shield doesn't understand that, but like there are connections being made in Shield's head of vague familiarity with the distress that both of them are showing. So he knows the solution to this. So he does this, and as he reboots, he sees up to two of them snuggling in his lap, and he just reaches for the second blanket and covers them up and goes back into his boot cycle.
Okay.
That was cute.
You
So cute.
Iron Giant moment there. The morning
Metal
comes.
is so cold.
Cypher, you are awoken by the knock at the door of a very hurried knock. Are you answering it?
Yeah, I'll shoot out of Shield's lap. I'll run over.
You open the door and you see the little elf page boy that you sent out, and he's holding a bundle of arrows. He's holding about 20 arrows, thunder arrows, and he's like, "All right, here you are, miss."
You're a lifesaver. Thank you. It is so early. Thank you.
I don't
I'll
sleep.
take 'em. Oh, you should. And I'll just take the bushel out of his hand.
That's why he's so unhinged.
Thank
I love
you.
that. I don't sleep.
Let me tell you, it's chaos out there.
Oh, great. Thank you. And so, how much did it cost?
Well, it costs about, and he kind of lifts up his shirt, and you see, like, there's a scar across the side. He's like, I did get cut a bit, but I'm fine. I'm mended. So, for the troubles, I would say about 60 gold.
Here's 100 gold. Did you lose an organ?
No, I just got sliced by someone as I was walking by.
Oh, okay.
Chaos out there.
Yeah. Okay. Here. Yeah. Take 100 gold for your troubles. Get a nap.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Clicks his heels and walks away.
Just so disturbed by that interaction, and I just take the arrows and I put them beside the door. I look back at my sleeping, cuddling friends.
You all get a message though from Theraval requesting you to meet in his office.
Did we get a long rest?
Yes, of course you long rest.
Okay,
Everyone gets
perfect.
a long rest. I'm
Okay,
not that
so-
evil.
Just need you to say it. I just need you to tell me it's okay.
Yeah, you need to hear. You need to hear the
I
words.
need to hear the words.
Fair enough. Yes, so you did long rest.
I'm
From
gonna
there-
roll my cosmic omen again because we long
Oh yeah.
rest.
What are you doing for that cosmic omen?
She is meditating as per usual in the morning. I have to roll a d6, so just bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. Everyone's kind of converging upon the office of Theraval.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
As you're all walking around, you can see there is almost once again a surge of energy throughout these apartments. Guards are more present. There are walking and roaming guards around the apartments and on the castle grounds, and there are more noble people here within the apartments.
Just to, for you, I rolled an odd number, so it's another woe, so it's another decrease, deletion, whatever.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. As you all enter into Theraval's office, you can see, even though an elf generally doesn't sleep, you can see this almost exasperated look on him, and he goes, "Well, I have good news. The Emperor has finally agreed to meet.
Came to his senses.
The problem is that they are already inbound towards the Scalebearer Pass. So we will have to move via teleportation. And he looks at like a little sundial and goes, very soon. Are you all ready to, well, address two political powers?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what's going on, but I'll tag along.
Sure. Can we have some like teleportation muffins first? Like some food?
Of course. He snaps his finger. You see an unseen servant come in with like a tray of fruits and
Oh
veggies,
my
and,
God.
like bran muffins, and if you see, there is quite a large number of noble people here today. It's because we are all, and you yourself included, will be transported with the king himself, King Varen Holdrum. He will be joining us today. Actually, I believe he is getting ready in his own personal apartments right now. So I do want to, I mean, it is seemingly the end of the world right now, but we also want to have some decorum while we're about each other. When you see the king, you do refer to him as Your Highness, and do also bow in front of him. I would not be an advisor if I did not advise you on this. And also, if you're meeting the Emperor, please call him His Scaled Excellence, if he will speak with you.
Scaled excellence.
His Scaled Excellence, yes.
Sure.
Absolutely. As you all finish your breakfast up, is there anything you want to do or ask before?
Yeah, I would like to know, did Steve ever get back with arrows?
Yeah, that happened. That was
all
the
happened.
beach boy.
Yeah, that happened.
He was sleeping though.
Steve, do you mean...
I'll pull out the 20 arrows and I'll give like 15 to Bo. Well, I'll give 10 to Bo, and I'll keep
Thank
10
you.
for
Yeah,
myself.
give him to Bo.
I
I
also
don't need
shoot a
any,
bow,
as
so
you know.
I will give him 10, and I'll keep 10.
That works.
If you
I don't
need
know
more,
about this Steve, but I do know of a Tandril. Is that who you're talking about?
They're all just Steve.
Does
Steve.
Does
Pagey
Harlow sleep?
McPage
There's
boy.
just Ken.
I'm not calling him Ken. His name's just Ken. Yes.
Just Ken.
Pageson McGee.
Is there any other? Are we all good here? We all know how we should all be addressing. We will be moving within the group towards the teleportation circles that you all went through before, but we'll be heading to one towards the Scalebearer Pass that has been set up specifically for this. I do wish you all good luck. Yes.
Quick question.
Right.
One more time. What are we to address the Emperor as? The scaled one?
Scaled excellence.
The scaled
Yes,
excellence.
the Scaled Excellence.
The scaled. Okay.
I
got
assume that are we doing the talking? Because
Oh no! If you're called upon, we want some backing up from
Got it.
some more solid adventurers.
Got it.
There's a real big sordid past with me and his scaled excellence. I might not call him that, but I will be respectful.
Yes, maybe being respectful by not speaking to him. If
That's probably
have-
for the best. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the whole world depends on this going well, I think.
I'm going to be nice. I'm just saying. I'm not going to call him that. Can't make.
Okay.
You smile and nod.
I'll do that.
she does have a great opinion there, option there. So, well, if we're all ready, then let us join the motorcade towards the teleportation circles. As you all leave out of the room, You can see that almost like a palisade is being kind of put up with the king. You can see off in the distance this kind of large armored human with like slick back grayed hair, and he is far off into the distance, and he is kind of leading the charge. And there are multitudes of guards lining the path throughout the postern bay towards the teleportation circle. There are nobles, there are lords and ladies. You even see Lord Elric from Burkton, who is there as well. His arm is in a sling. You do see the lord from Hollivara that you ran into, and various other lords that, Cypher, you would remember from your time growing up in the orphanage, that have kind of come through, and the ladies there as well. You make your way to the teleportation circles, and you all enter in one by one. As you enter into the Scalebearer Pass, it is on the Huldremian side. Borak, this is for the last little bit. This has probably been the closest you've been to home in a while. You can see on the southern side of the Scalebearer Pass the familiar beginnings of the Temravi Plains. From the opposite side, though, you all see a contingent of Dragonborn, all of varying scale colors. Their scaled forms stand with their horns outstretched further back in different designs, but there is one very large palisade being carried by some massive Dragonborn that is completely covered in it. Is in a platinum silverish color. You can't see through it. It is just opaque.
You can
Above-
feel Barak's eyes rolling.
Okay. Above you, you look up, and about 200 feet in the air, there is a carved from the Scalebearer Mountains, a bridge that meets in the middle of this large, round, dome-like room. On either sides, there are two stairs. You see the Dragonborn heading up one, and the Huldremian Kingdom heading up another. You follow suit. And as time goes on, you enter into this large room. And in this large room, you see multitudes of seats. And as tensions would be very high here, the Dragonborn viceroys and vicereines are sitting on one side, and the lords and ladies of the Huldremian Kingdom are sitting on the other. At the head of each table, you see the king of the Huldremian Kingdom sit down at a table, and you see the now open palisade of this large Dragonborn with platinum scales and jewelry hanging off every horn, and these beautiful black robes step out with his slippered foot, and he sits down at the table there, and they both begin to discuss. Theraval is beside you. He whispers to you all, there will be some sort of pleasantries before the discussions begin, so keep an eye, and if you're called upon, just be ready to answer. Is there anything you're all doing at this point here, or are you just letting the conversations go through?
I'm going to. Sorry, go ahead, Shield.
I got a comment to somebody about how undefensible this location is, and about how it's not probably great that every even ruler adjacent person from two kingdoms are in one room that is just one bad spell from collapsing.
And you hear you're kind of making this comment out to the party, and Theraval says, look out the windows there, and you see from the windows, you can see now the military contingent coming through with their massive ballistas and their flamethrowers and all of their items that are now being placed. And also, if there is an event of emergency, and that we hope we do not occur, there is the exits. And he does point, and you can see almost like teleportation circles set up in case of emergency, to exit people out as soon as possible.
I'm. Shield, are you complete? Finished?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take out one of my figurines because I assume we have a minute, and I'm just going to close my eyes and say a prayer, and I'm going to cast augury with my new divinely favored favoring, and I'm going to just ask what will happen if we tell them the complete truth of the situation. And I'm posting the spell in our little chat there.
Okay. And sorry, the question was again?
What kind of results will we get if we play it straight and respectful and tell them everything that we know?
As you roll the bones, they come up with wheel.
Okay.
For good results.
Okay. I'll just look at the others and say, play this straight. Just tell them everything they ask of us.
Borok, as you're sitting there, you do see the one very familiar Viceroy Karth almost looking directly at you.
I'll give him a
nods his dragonborn form and looking at you, and continues on his way. Anything else the rest of you are doing during this?
I think I would be seeing Bo grinding his teeth at the sight of the palisade and the very fancy emperor, seeing him struggle. I would just lean in to say, "Don't worry, you just know he's compensating for something." Try to ease his tension a bit, and I would just have hawk eyes on the whole room and have like counterspell ready in the chamber if I see anyone about to cast something offensive.
Okay.
I think Shield is both slightly confused, but also very relieved that nobody seems to be reacting to the fact that there's a giant metal death machine here. Especially the people who would know some of us from before. And so there's some computing power going towards that. Like, this is really good, but also, have I lost a step?
Who knows? Maybe they're a little bit more preoccupied with the glowing purple light in the sky. But okay, Tobias or Sienna, is there anything you were all doing?
Well, I'm just gonna be taking in my surroundings right now. I see some familiar faces. Yeah, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm really parched. I'm wondering is there like any water or something on any of these tables that we can have?
There's the glasses of water around for all the dignitaries and stuff. And you know who you do see as you're walking by? You see your mother and your father there.
Yep.
Of course they're there. I think I was muted when I was talking earlier.
Oh, sorry, Orsi.
I just said I just passively keep an eye out on like all the exits at all times.
Okay. Borok, as your eyes scan more, you see War Chief Dolva. You see the four families of Nevigua, all, and some pirates, some sellswords that you don't necessarily remember, and there are no mention of the Growlitusk gang that was there. But the the king raises his hand, and a hush falls over the area, and he stands up, and the emperor stand up, and the king begins to speak. Lords and ladies of the Hildremian kingdom, esteemed representatives of the Comodon dynasty, gathered here today, we stand united in the face of a grave threat that knows no borders. A relentless virus that has cast its dark shadow upon both of our lands. Then the Emperor begins to speak. Today we stand on the precipice of a new era. An era where our combined strength will prove mightier than any virus, any divisive force. Together we shall cast aside our differences and work hand in hand to devise strategies, share resources, and extend a helping hand to those in need, irrespective of the heritage or lineage. The king motions to you all. We have adventurers here, as Therivold puts it, these geo-breakers that have met face to face with this virus and the potential threat that has come from them. You see all heads just turn to look at you. Some proud, some overly excited, some a little bit of annoyance that to see a blood hand up there. King looks and says, I ask if one of you could recount what you saw the night before. What are we truly facing right now?
I look over to Cypher.
Cypher shield.
Oh, I'm looking at Cypher.
Just so I know, specifically the night with Vincent, like what we saw or what we...
Yes, the night with Vincent and what transpired with Tobias. And any information you want to throw in there, too.
Yeah. Hello, Scaled Excellence and Your Highness and noble lords and ladies. We face a monster of vengeance and greed, and a power that I've never seen. We destroyed his right hand. It was not easy. We almost perished in that process. The Lich had a portion of his mind connected to one of our party members that we had to quite literally pull out of his mind. And in doing so, we saw just a shadow of this creature's might. Horns, geode horns, and just writhed in darkness and death. This is a man and a creature that is going to wash over this land with his power, with his virus, and with a monster that we don't even know about yet. We just know it is called the Tower, and it is a scaled monstrosity. We don't know where it is. We think it's in the wastes at Umathos, is where he is amassing this power. We don't know what these beams are. Potentially power coming from ley lines that he is amassing. And we need all of you for this. And I'll just, anything I Becky forgot, I'll put into the, our experiences fighting the geodes and how they just tear through everything without second thought. And how, like, the history with Belwick Academy and how they've learned about the wild magic and how to turn it into almost a physical weapon, and how to enhance their own power, and how they turn people immortal but monsters. And I'll just feed all that extra in there.
Okay. Can you roll persuasion with advantage?
Mm-hmm. What is my bonus? Ooh. 5, 6, 7, 18.
You hear a mixed response in front of you, but a hand raises up, and it's the Emperor's hand. He speaks. We have been blinded by our own suspicions, manipulated into doubting one another's intentions. I have seen firsthand what can happen within Tolerant. But I implore you to see beyond the surface, to recognize the common thread that binds us as brethren to this land. It is a duty not just for our people, but the very spirit of our kingdoms, to overcome these trials and rise above the discord. Orsina, in the corner of your eye,
Oh.
is your passive perception so damn high? You see, off in the distance, a shambling glint in the light.
Oh, sorry, say that again. A
See
shambling
a shambling glint of purple on the light.
glint.
Almost like a mass moving. To
Obviously,
the
I
south.
turn my head really quickly, and I was just like, "Look!" And then I hope that alerts everybody around me.
As you shout the look, it's the Comodon side that actually are to the south, and they all turn around. You can see some people from the Huldremian side looking, and you see, as everyone begins to focus in on it, a form, multitudes of geolucent moving in unison to each other. The droning voice is heard over and over. The crystal provides. The crystal provides. The crystal provides. You see them off in the distance coming through. Orok, now that this has catched your attention, you see the now burning town of Post Malone coming to the ground. You see hundreds, if not thousands, of geolucents beginning to move. The earth begins to shake, and the form of what resembles a snapping turtle rises from the wastes. You see these spires of crystal jutting out from its back. Tortured, it yells out in this cacophonous yell. That's where we'll pick up our next session.
At least we're warned.
Intense.
At least we know it's
We're in the end game now, y'all.
We are in the end game. Let's go!
Damn.
BRB combing my spell book for all the thunder, bludgeoning, and ice spells.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
make the noise of the giant turtle thing.
I was going to, but my throat is actually killing me, so I'm not going to do that.
You've done some great voice work today.
Oh,
Peter.
Oh yeah, man.
Thank
the
you.
Emperor. I loved that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
me too.
Thank you so much.